Well, you know this, I literally save you a lot of money. Hello Internet, welcome to Lex Universe. Are you also excited to go on a summer vacation soon? Well, all of us do, but one of the things that are very unpleasant are usually the stays at the airport. Well, in this video I want to give you 10-ish advices what to do at the airport to make your transition as smooth as possible and avoid a lot of problems that you may come into at the airport, wherever you want to go. But before we begin, let me welcome all of new subscribers here. You're great. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please click the subscribe button. It will help me a lot. So let's talk about airports. Well, my advice number one is kind of understandable, and well, many of you may come up to this idea yourself, but it needs to be said. Investigate beforehand. What I mean is, you don't know what the airport looks like, how much time you will need for anything. So if you're traveling somewhere, get a map of the airport first. Take a look at some videos or maybe just some pictures from the video. Look out some reviews at the internet to see how much time you will need for literally anything at the airport. All of it is available online for most of the airports. So my advice number two is actually something that can save you a lot of money, and that is bring an empty bottle. You know, if you're traveling somewhere, I think many people know it already, but I will mention it again, even though it has been like that for the past 20 years. You cannot bring more than 10 milliliters or 3 ounces bottles with you to the airport through the airport security, and this applies for almost everything. So don't have any creams or anything, that all it qualifies as water. But you may bring an empty bottle with you through the security, and in most cases they will not stop you. I have actually encountered several airports where they had a problem with the empty bottle as well. But if that's the case, I may give you another advice, let's say 2.B, and that's by this. It is a bottle that you can like really easily fold. It doesn't really look like a bottle, but then you can fill it out with around 1 liter of water after the security, and you're good to go. Because if there is one thing that everybody knows about the airports or the airplanes, water is extremely expensive. This literally saved me, let's say, hundreds of euros over the years. So my point number three is prepare your stuff for the security. I think most of us know already that if you want to fly somewhere, your bags are being checked and you have to take away all of your electronics, or your tablets, computers, laptops, and all of the liquids in your bag, and they all need to be put in this 1 liter bag. First of all, bring this with you, get it somewhere. You can get it at most of the airports, but for example, I flew from Bratislava and they were selling these for €2 a piece, so get it beforehand. And also, nothing will piss off your fellow travelers more than you rolling your bag and trying to assemble all the liquids from all around the backpack. Prepare this beforehand, get all of your electronics into one place. If you are traveling with a laptop, have it somewhere where you can put it up really easily, and again, give it back, and keep your liquids in this on top of your backpack, because you will be pulling it up. Now my point number four is, have you ever gone to the airport and suddenly found out that your battery on your phone is dead? Well, that's kind of a bummer, because in the recent years, most of our flight tickets and other documents that you need to transfer to another country are available in the electronic form, and you have it in the phone. And I do the same. I have the Apple Wallet where I have all my boarding passes and all the insurance and stuff like that. But it might happen that you will arrive at the airport and suddenly you are out of battery, or something breaks down and you are not able to board. So my advice is print everything. Yeah, all of your visas, all of your flight itineraries, your boarding pass if you made the check-in online, and so on. Well, speaking of checking, I would give you the advice to check in online, because I usually do that and I think it's one of the best things that ever happened in the travel industry. But before I will tell you all of the advantages of that, let me tell you one good advantage why to do check-in at the airport. Basically, if you're flying low cost, you cannot do this. You can, but you will pay for it. So if you're flying low cost, you will do check-in online either way. But if you're flying some of the standard carriers, like, I don't know, Air France, Qatar Airways, and so on, if you do the check-in at the airport, you will have one advantage, because there is a person sitting in front of you, not a computer. And if you ask them, hey, I want to sit in the aisle seat or on the window seat, or look at are there any seats at the emergency exits and so on, unless they are digs, they will give you the preferred seating that you want, unless it's already full. But generally, in most cases, and even in the most prestigious airlines, if you want to choose your seat during the online check-in, you will have to pay for it. So that's one of the advantages of doing it at the airport. But saying that, I usually do the online check-in because it's just a lot less hassle. You do it in the comfort of your living room. You can then print out your boarding card or have it in your phone and you're good to go. If you have a checked-in luggage, usually also the online check-in booths at the airport are being serviced at a much higher pace, so you will have less chance to be waiting for several dozens of minutes or even hours in some cases. Well, my advice number 6 is generally a lifesaver. Buy your food beforehand. While you cannot bring any water with you through the security check, you can generally bring your food. Well, of course, you cannot bring a soup or some sauce or anything, but honestly, anything else like a baguette or, I don't know, some sandwiches, something like that, you can generally bring it with you and eat it after the security or on the plane, no matter what you want. There's absolutely no need for you to buy meals at the airport, which are arguably like 4 times more expensive than in the city. Well, my advice number 7. Have you ever seen any of my videos or pictures from the airport? One of the things that you may have noticed, I haven't flown in jeans in like years. And the reason is, it's not comfortable. If you're flying 10 plus hours on a flight, wearing jeans is, well, not very pleasant. So I've been traveling in my hoodie and sweatpants or shorts in really a lot of years so far, and I cannot complain. It's a lot more pleasant. This has one downside. You are very unlikely to get a free upgrade to the first or business class, but I really don't want to crush your beliefs, but your chances are so slim that this doesn't really change much. Well, my advice number 8, and this is again another lifesaver and kind of corresponds to my first advice. Find your gate ASAP. After you cross security check and immigration, you will end up in this duty-free zone where everything will scream at you, come shop here, come shop here. Well, while you can do it, and don't get me wrong, you don't have to spend all the time in your gate, but after you go through the security check and the immigration control, go find your gate, find out where it is, and then you can go wherever you want, but at least you will know where to go when the flight is coming. Because some airports are really large, and in some cases you will have to get a shuttle to get to your gate, and it may take up 20 to 30 minutes to get from the security to the gate. Really find your gate as soon as possible, then you can chill out anywhere. Really, no need to stay at the gate. Everybody does that, so Nothing is stopping you to wait in the gate nearby, and then just when the plane's coming, then go to the place. Well, this also brings me to the first extra point. Don't board early. I've never understood this. Like, they say, well, we're boarding, and like everybody at the gate suddenly stands up and goes to wait in the queue, which generally is a very unpleasant thing to do. But what's the win here? Well, you get to the plane as one of the first people, but that just adds up to the time that you will have spent on the plane after you landed. So is that something you want? Because most of the people don't, because it's very unpleasant. Well, now my advice number 9. This comes after you have landed. Get different check-in luggage. What I mean by this, like almost everybody has a large black suitcase. So once they're arriving at the carousel, all of them look the same. And honestly, you will just have to check each one of them to find out, is this mine, isn't this mine? Well, don't do that. I'm usually not traveling with the suitcase. I have like this large bag, so that kind of screams my name on me whenever it appears there. Not to mention, it usually ends up on the top, so it's one of the first luggages to arrive. But also it looks different. But if you don't want that, if you still want a suitcase, get another color. Like, nobody will have pink suitcase if you... Probably don't get a pink suitcase, it looks ridiculous. But you get my point, right? Well, my point number 10 is travel lightly. What I mean by that, you don't need to have so many things in your carry-on. I usually make the mistake that I pack there a lot of things that I will not need at the airport or on the flight. When it comes to some batteries and stuff you have to bring there, it must not be in the checked-in luggage. But there are many things that you don't have to carry. It's good to have a book, it's good to have all your charging stuff, it's good to have at least one pair of socks and underwear in case your check-in luggage gets delayed. Not to mention, you will be searching for something, and if your carry-on is so full of stuff, you will have a really hard time to do that. When I mentioned the charging, don't forget to bring these. It's a adapter, this one from the European to the British plug outlet. But also, if your phone doesn't have it, get a charger that can be disconnected from this, because sometimes you will just find USB ports directly at the airport where you can charge your phone, and you don't actually really need to go find the plug outlets. So good for that. Well, in the end, let me bring one more extra point, and this will help all of the alcoholics among us. When you have these 100 milliliters bottles, you can usually bring alcohol in them. This can be useful if you want to buy some alcohol in your destination, but also if you have like this bottles, they can be bought in IKEA, I think. You can fill them up with anything. It can be water, it can be some sunscreen, or it can be alcohol. But this is a good thing that even if you're traveling only with your carry-on, you can bring some souvenirs from the destination. This in case this is cha-cha from Georgia. Definitely try to disgusting it. And speaking of drinking on the plane or at the airport, some of the airports actually have this giant advantage that the security check is actually at the gate, which means that you will arrive at the airport, you will go through the immigration, and at that point you are waiting for your boarding time, but they are doing the security check at the boarding gate, so it means that nobody's checking your luggage beforehand. And if you want to bring a can of beer or something, or even the water with you, nobody's stopping you, and you can save up a lot of money again. So, well, win-win. By the way, one of these airports is actually Prague Airport, so if you're flying from here, and that would be it. for most people, going to the airport is a very stressful situation. I generally love it. I really spending a lot of time at the airports, but if you are not familiar with it and you don't like it, I hope that these advices did help you a lot, or at least somehow. And if they did, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel not to miss any of my future updates. Go check out my other social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.